Alright, so here's the head after I took it out of the oven, so it's nice and hard. Worked out all the creases and smoothed it out. So get you several toothpicks and clip off the edges here. And then there's the teeth I made, and they're all dry now. They air dried. Doesn't take too long for that small amount to air dry. They're still a little soft, but we can still put them on and they'll find it. They'll be good to go. But take a little hot glue and do a round patch of hot glue. Rub it a good bit to get it nice and hot. That way it doesn't harden on you too quick. And this is on the side jaw. And then use you something to just pick up your ends of your toothpicks and place them inside. We're going to completely fill up the inner circle of the side jaw with teeth. I use a pair of needle nose pliers so that you can get it in there and not get hot glue on your finger and pulling strings or messing up the other ones by hitting them. And there it is. Just a bunch of small teeth on the inner side jaw. And we're going to do the same to the other side, exact same thing. Alright, so there's both sides done. So I used 3 toilet paper rolls to make the body. We're going to stuff it with some paper and other things to make it a little bit more solid. You just got to work with it. You don't even have to use the paper towel rolls if you don't want to. You can use just tinfoil or paper stuffed in a roll and then tinfoil around it. Get you a metal coat hanger and clip you off a little bit more than half of it. And we're going to run this through the paper towels, and this will give it like a firm stand, because the clay head's a little heavy, so you want something that's going to hold it up. And then we're just going to bend it into the shape that we want. And hot glue in on the paper towel roll so we hold them in place. Just being a little messy here. Now you just bend everything with the coat hanger, and you're sort of making the shape of how you want the body to be coming out of the ground. And with a wire coat hanger, it's able to support that, and you can make it into a shape. And then just get some tinfoil and start wrapping it up. when you sort of got the shape you got, you start clipping off the excess coat hanger. And then so I can make a little bit more of a form so it doesn't collapse on itself, I stuff it with paper. Throw some hot glue in there to make the paper stick and it doesn't move around on you. And just do the same with the other end, just ball it up, stuff it down, and just keep stuffing until you get pretty full to where that it gives it the form you want. Put some hot glue in between the paper so it locks it in, and then when you're done, that's all the paper you put in there, just put some hot glue around it to cap it off. Then here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a round out the leftover coat hanger to sort of make its own base that I can attach to another base. And round out that last little bit, you probably need to use a pair of pliers or something. That's what I did, to sort of make it more of a circle. And then just add more tinfoil to cover up the places that maybe needs to be a little thicker, or is it completely covered. You want to at least 2 layers of tinfoil. That way it's a good mold and sort of stays in the position you want. And sort of take a look over it, smooth down certain obvious bumps that are in it, and then just get some wet paper towels and start wrapping it in wet paper towels. And I did 2 layers of paper towels. And then just get your Elmer's glue, PVA glue, water it down just a little bit, and then just spread it on, all on the paper towels, and this will harden it. Let it soak into it and dry. And do this on all the paper towel parts. And once you're done, let it dry. Now here are the scales that I'm going to use for the back. So just draw them out on your cardstock. This is actually just a cereal box. So when you draw it out, each square is 1 inch, 4 1-inch squares, and you just do the little loop on the 2 middle and then round it off the ones on the sides. And just cut them out. And once you got it cut out, you got to cut one side straight. Just make sure you don't do your one with a point in the middle. And then you just fold it on each line and then crease it. And you're just making a little crease in it. So you're folding it back on either side, just like that. Just crease it back on itself on both sides. And after you make about 20 of these, this will wear your fingers out. So now you got the scales that run along the back of the purple worm. And this idea came from DM Scotty, so thanks DM Scotty for the scale idea, how to draw them up and cut them out and bend them together. It works really well. So now all you want to do is we want to start attaching the teeth. So you get your large teeth that you made, which will be 5 for the top, 4 for the bottom, and 3 for each side jaw. And you just put a dab of hot glue on there and make it to where when you push it in there, it does still wrap around the tooth, and that sort of looks like that gum socket. So now we'll add the rest of the teeth. Just do a dab each time, just a little round dab, and put it in the direction you want. If you need a little bit more because you don't think that will quite hold it like this one, that's fine. Just add a little more hot glue. It's not going to hurt anything. Because we're going to do a little bit of texturing and making a little bit more of the gums out of the hot glue. And we'll just put the rest of the teeth on. Alright, now I got all the larger teeth on. Go to start putting the scales on. So basically all you're going to do is just turn it upside down and hot glue it. Now, here's the mistake I made, is I started at the top. You want to start at the bottom, because the point should be pointing backwards, not forwards. And you want it to be turned around the other way, so when you putting these on, make sure you start at the bottom of the purple worm and then work your way up. I will glue the head on with it like this, and that's when I noticed it finally. So I just took the head off and I unclipped the circle base at the bottom, and I just turned it over, turned it upside down, and re-glued, hot glued the head on the other end, so it looked right. And I end up just drilling a little hole into the bottom of this one and inserting that wire in it. But this is, it's done here, and it's still backwards right here. But you want to cover, once you get it done, cover it all in Mod Podge. And I didn't show the step, but I did cover underneath it on its belly. It's completely covered in hot glue. It has one coating of hot glue on there just to sort of make it solid and protect the paper where it doesn't start tearing or anything. And now you're just going to go over that hot glue that's already on there, and you're going to go left to right and just sort of make some texture to it. But keep your hot glue gun going just one direction, from the scales to the other scales. And you're just etching it like a stomach piece. Just going back and forth, one direction. Do this for the underneath part of the worm. So now we're going to attach the head, and to do that just put a bunch of hot glue. And it does hold, because it took me a minute to pull this head back off to switch it around when I noticed that I did the scales backwards. Alright, so it's pretty much on there. Once it dries and hardens, it sticks pretty good. But you see the scales are backwards, and I'll notice it, and what I do off camera is I'll cut around the head a little bit, loosen out some hot glue, and I'll pull the head off, and then I'll put it on the other end. I'll turn everything completely around. Alright, so after I popped the head back off, put it on the other side, I went ahead and drilled in a hole at the now bottom, took the piece I cut off, that was the circular mount, pushed it in there and glued it in there. And I just made a cardboard mounted base, just like you would any of your other bases. Mount it, hot glue it with a mount, put in a little bit of a mound, put some rocks on there, and on the underneath of this I put some popsicle sticks for more support. If you have a plastic base or a wood base you could use, try that. The cardboard can be a little bit flimsy. And then here you're just going to even out where you're join the head to the neck, and you're going to put a little streaks going from the neck, going out to the tip of the chin. Keep going one direction, just a little bit of texture. And keep it all going one direction, from the neck to the chin, or from the neck to the top of the nose. And then add a little bit more, circle the teeth and around the gums. Just add some hot glue to that. Now for the top, the little part that I made for the top horn and then that top bone piece that looks like a solid little round piece of bone, I don't texture that. I leave that plain. I just go around it. I wanted to keep that smooth. Go around the side jaws, going from the neck to the tip of the jaw, all in one direction. And then, use your hot glue to smooth things out, smooth your gum lines out if you need to. And then here we're going to put some texture on the scales, and you want to keep it going one direction. So you want to be going the direction from the neck to the tail. Just do it one direction. And just do it lightly. You just want a few, 5 to 8 strands, little strands on there. Just giving it some line texture from the neck to the tail. Keep going the same direction. So just use the side of your hot glue gun to smooth out the gum line. And if you need to put a little bit more in there, because you want to make it like some gums on there and like a big socket that the teeth come out of, and just smooth it up. And there at the bottom you can see the popsicle sticks I've put in for support to hold it up. Alright, and that's it for this part 2 of this video. Part 3, we'll paint her up and get the finished product out of it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button and share with your friends. Thanks for watching, and the table calls. Keep gaming.